Kamguyza and Bonkie had a plan, like if you don't stop making video about them, they was gonna strike you.
These past few weeks, the Roblox animation community has been in chaos. One by one, the animators exposed in 2025 have been scrambling to cover their tracks, lying, manipulating, and doing everything they can to save face. It started with people like Potemer and even his own mother, who've been spreading blatant lies about the people who rightfully called him out, and it ends with people like BonkieDoge and Kamguyza, who are now trying to justify their PDF-philic behavior by calling it cultural differences, among other pathetic excuses. In this video, I'm going to break down everything and expose exactly what's been happening. I'll clarify the truth and show you why these people don't deserve a platform. Because of all these exposed videos, my channel is currently under attack. They're trying to desperately silence me, so if you want to support the truth, I ask you, please like the video, subscribe, and share this with someone because the stakes have never been higher. Let's begin with Potemer and his mother. After Potemer was exposed for meeting up with a 12-year-old for some freaky time around early January, he and his mother understood that trying to lie about the situation was completely pointless after the victim straight up testified and admitted the truth of what was happening.
Look, just in case my mom ever comes by, I'm just gonna let you know, I can't really say anything because of my mom. I can't say anything. Even if I were, I'm scared that my mom is just gonna be just there because she's Discord and she can hear me fine.
So you are afraid of your own mother?
And that's just kind of the main reason of why this is sort of just covered and I can't say anything anymore. So
listen, I'm not asking here for a full-on admission. I don't want a full detailed thing here. I'm gonna ask you a straight up open question. I'm gonna need the honest truth here because otherwise this will implicate you and your mother from a legal perspective. Did Potemer do to you the things that he's accused of? Did Potemer actually end up raping you?
Okay, because if my mom finds out I said anything, I don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I definitely was there. I don't want to say anything.
So he did end up getting teeth from you? Or
yeah, but that's all I'm gonna say.
keep in mind that when I spoke to the mother, she denied anything ever happening, and when asked why she kept on making excuses for Potemer, who, for the record, also admitted to this happening well over 10 times by now, she tried to claim that this was very common in her time.
Do you know how many teenage boys I knew when I was a teenager that would say, oh yeah, I hit that, and they didn't? I mean, come on. Go ahead.
We go back to your point that you said that you went to high school with boys who said they hit that. This isn't what's happening here. Your son's claiming that he hit that to about a 12-year-old.
Yeah, so in the middle school.
So what?
So what do you mean, so what?
So what?
What people don't understand, and clearly the mother herself has issues understanding, Potemer's actions legally classify as statutory as the victim, and the minimum age required for a minor-on-minor interaction like that is 14, not a 12-year-old should never be doing anything like giving, or more specifically, teeth to a nearly grown adult. It's disgusting. Recently, in one of my latest videos, I talked about how Parlo was being attacked by Pyrocynical in his subreddit. Anyways, the second that video dropped, Potemer's mom went straight to that same subreddit to try to flip the entire narrative. She made a post accusing Parlo and I of pressuring a 12-year-old to talk about her for content and claimed we uploaded the recording of her voice without any changes. That's not just a lie, it's a desperate attempt to smear us because the truth about her son is already out there and undeniable. First of all, even the Reddit post itself admits that the girl was 15 at the time of the recording. So why open the post by calling her year-old in bold dramatic letters? Pretty simple actually, to emotionally manipulate the readers from Pyrocynical's subreddit before they learn the actual context. It's a cheap tactic to weaponize outrage against us. Second, the claim that we pressured her is completely fake. We reached out to the victim respectfully and asked if she wanted to speak about what happened, and she agreed. There was no trickery, no force, and no hidden motives. In fact, in the recording, the girl openly explains that she was scared to talk about what happened, not because of us, but because of her own mother. In the same recording, she literally says she got yelled at for telling the truth before, and after the call, she was punished again, grounded, and had all of her social media scrubbed just for admitting that Potemer put his lightsaber into to her face. So let's get that straight. The only adult who intimidated or silenced this girl were the mothers involved in this situation, not us. Third, the idea that we exploited her story is nonsense. The recording wasn't uploaded for views or drama. It was uploaded because it proves what happened. It supports the victim's story, exposes the parents in Potemer's lies, and shows exactly what kind of person Potemer is. We didn't post her name, we didn't her, and we made sure her voice was the one in control. That's more than her own family did for her. What's happening here is a full-blown deflection campaign. Potemer's mom is trying to rewrite history so that her son doesn't look like the monster he is, but unfortunately for her, the evidence is already public. The truth is out there, and this cheap attempt at damage control just makes her look even more guilty. This isn't about justice, this is about covering up and blaming the people who exposed it, and I won't let her get away with that. Before we move on, I feel like it's important that we go into what Potemer's mother has been doing lately just a tad bit more. For the past few months, this grown woman has been harassing and bullying Parlo and I. She was going on videos that attempted to expose Parlo or myself falsely and blatantly spreaded even more false claims. For example, one person was named Pete151 who actually tries defending doing freaky actions to Cheese Pizza, which we will get to later. Anyways, this person was getting a lot of comments from Potemer's mother where she would blatantly and attack Parlo and I. Potemer's mother is very clearly unwell and needs to be examined because this is a grown woman who basically defends a near adult putting their private lightsaber into a year-old. For the next segment of the video, I want to speak about Kamguyza. A lot of people have been complaining about many things related to how I and some other creators handled the situation. Kamguyza, who has sent IRL corn to children as young as has recently been defended in Thailand, and people are using the most stupidest excuses I ever saw to defend his actions, and I want to address everything in this segment of the video. So recently, someone named Jibby made a video defending Kamguyza, but here's the thing, the video was entirely in Thai, and instead of providing honest captions, they deliberately replaced the subtitles with things like, haha, you thought, just to stop people from translating it and debunking their false defense for Kamguyza. That already says a lot. It's not a defense if you're actively hiding what you're saying. Luckily, someone else, a user named Efekelrit, stepped in and translated the actual points for me, and after reading through them, most of the so-called defenses either rely on misinformation, personal bias, or just completely miss the point. For some context, you may have to watch these videos I made on Kamguyza. First, the R34 excuse. The Jibby video claims Kamguyza used to make R34 but quit, and that what he shared in his server was just clickbait thumbnails or jokes between friends. That argument falls apart immediately. Even if it was a joke, which, let's be honest, is an extremely weak excuse, it doesn't change the fact that Kamguyza sent this to a public Discord server that wasn't just containing his friends as Jibby's video claims, but people as young as years old in it. Sending anything remotely in a space meant for minors is not a joke. It's reckless, dangerous, and in many countries, including Thailand, illegal. Additionally, they completely avoided mentioning that it wasn't just Roblox R34 that was sent in the server. It was also real-life private that were shown to children. And when this happened in the server, people aged 13 and 2 15-year-olds were actively speaking at that exact moment, which in Thailand is completely illegal under the Thai Penal Code 287. Just for additional context, 12 hours earlier than that, 2 other people aged and were also speaking there. Next, I want to talk about their excuse for the Toby situation. The video tries to paint a picture that Toby, the 14-year-old involved, baited Kamguyza into sending inappropriate gifts and then twisted it into a scandal. But again, this falls apart pretty quickly. First of all, the 14-year-old in question didn't even know what the context of the image was. He didn't know that it was about, and this was pointed out in my original video, but people seemingly intentionally ignored that completely. Next, Kamguyza willingly sent the content after being told Toby wanted to see it. But here's the problem. Toby had their age listed in their bio, and more importantly, even if you didn't know someone's age, it doesn't give you a pass to send them material. And again, Kamguyza did the exact same thing in his public Discord server, which was known to have kids in it. This wasn't an isolated misunderstanding, it's a pattern. Third, the cultural differences excuse. They argue that in Thailand, it's just a joke, and Western audiences are taking things too seriously. Sorry, but if you're posting content on Discord, which is a US-based platform, the US law still applies. You don't get to hide behind cultural differences when you're exposing minors to R34 on a global platform. That excuse has been used by before, and it doesn't work here either. Fourth, I want to address their jealousy and clout theory. This was the weakest part of the whole defense. Jibby suggests that Paro and I only exposed Kamguyza out of jealousy or to farm views from the controversy. That's just straight up projection. We called him out because he was doing things behind the scenes that endangered his own fan base, and most of that fan base is made up of children. When a creator who makes content for kids starts sending content in a server filled with kids, you can't just look the other way. That's not drama, that's a whole safety issue. And lastly, the legal claim. Jibby falsely claims that I made up laws using ChatGPT. That is completely false. I researched the laws myself, and the only time I do use ChatGPT is to simplify the legal terms for you, the audience. The laws I cited are real, and just to prove it, I actually have the search history for the past few videos, and they all prove that I do my own research. The laws I mentioned in the video on Kamguyza apply to anyone using US-based platforms like Discord and YouTube, even if you're not American. And just as a sprinkle on top, they tried to claim that I maliciously censor stuff to make things look worse than it is in reality, and use the example that I censored Loppy's avatar. This alone was probably one of the most dumbest points I've seen so far, that I honestly debated if I should even include this in the video. The original image from my video literally states that the image itself is not bad, but I had to censor for YouTube's terms of services. So to summarize, this so-called defense video was biased, dishonest, and based on an argument that doesn't hold up when you actually look at the evidence. And the fact that they went out of their way to prevent people from translating it, that just proves they knew how flimsy their points really were. Because of this video, I was actually sent numerous death threats and was attacked in my own server by these people where they tried to grab my personal information by getting people to grab my IPs or other stuff like this. However, this Jibby person took it a step further by trying to defend BonkieDoge, someone I exposed recently for pedophilic behavior, and that video was 100 times more insane and unhinged than this video defending Kamguyza. Now, let's talk about BonkieDoge's response from Jibby's video, because wow, it is insanely bad. When he was called out for following LM Chan, one of the most notorious lolly animators on Twitter, his excuse, as repeated in Jibby's defense video, was that he only followed them for animation tutorials. But even if we pretended to believe that, why follow LM Chan's lolly account instead of LM Chan Studio, their safe for work tutorial page that actually posts animation content? You can't seriously tell me that someone working with the Thai government who claims to care about professionalism just accidentally followed the one with posted on it. Then there's the account that he followed that literally retweeted depictions of cars, vehicles. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Their defense, which Jibby actually echoed, was, oh, they only retweet car, they don't post it themselves. That's not a clarification, that's a confession. I'm genuinely confused how people are on their side. When I pointed out that Bonkie's old Facebook account was following multiple suspicious pages, Jibby tried to downplay it as a mistake from his teen years. But here's the thing, that defense doesn't even cover the Twitter account, which follows 281 accounts, and at least 20 of them are outright lolly posters. So even if we give the Facebook excuse the benefit of the doubt, it doesn't explain the literal anime CP showing up on his modern day feed that he himself admitted he still uses to this day. Additionally, in his own response video, Bonkie's lawyer confirmed that the stuff he viewed was considered CP. I mentioned this earlier with the Kamguyza situation, but in the BonkieDoge they went even further, so I'm going to point this out here again. They tried clowning me for using Google to research laws, as if that somehow is invalid, when literally every lawyer, paralegal, and law student starts with legal databases and search engines. You don't get bonus points for pretending the law is unknowable just because you didn't bother to read it. And let's not forget that Kamguyza, someone who Bonkie closely worked with and who is now actively defending him, has been on his side throughout all of this. So if anyone tries to spin this as everyone misunderstood Bonkie, no, we didn't. The people who actually know him are the ones still trying to bury the truth. Now, regarding them trying to bury the truth, all three animators have desperately tried to silence me from coming out. Let's begin with Potemer, who actually actively tried to pay a known striker to take down my videos exposing him. Last time I got in contact with the person who falsely took it down, testified that someone paid them to take it down. Now, they didn't confirm anyone's identity until much later, actually a few days ago, when I reached out to Glacier's channel manager, who confirmed they received £100 or $130 to strike down my video. A similar situation happened with Kamguyza, who had his Discord moderator file a false strike onto my channel for privacy reasons, which were completely fake. And now, just a few days ago, I was informed by a spy from their group that BonkieDoge and Kamguyza were planning on doing the same thing, strike my channel while abusing the YouTube copyright system and take me down forever, which is why I need your help. I made a tweet calling out this type of behavior and pointing out that I am under attack by these people and my channel is at risk almost all the time. Please make sure to like and subscribe and spread this video to everyone. I not only want the truth to be out there, I also want to get rid of all bad people from the Roblox community. If any more updates on this situation are needed, they will be available in my Discord server. Thank you for watching.